Sure, competition can be healthy, but I find that competition has led me down a path of, just being lost in my photography journey. And I want to share with you some perspective and some tips on how I was able to dial it back and still really use competition as a point of creation. Tune in.
One, two, get down. Get down. Two, one, two, get down.
What is the deal, beautiful people? My name is Ramon. Welcome to my channel. Here we talk about any and everything photography all day, every day. Today's topic is competition. And really and truly, my overall message around this topic is you are your only competition. And I think this is the healthiest way to go about your photography journey. Although there are some of us who have that Michael Jordan killer instinct where you need competition to really awaken your drive for success. But mostly in today's world, and based on a lot of people I know and in my personal journey, I think competition can lead us down some very dark paths. It is the norm to take up your phone, you go on Instagram, and whatever genre of photography you're into, portraits, you go to the search bar and you type in portraits and look at the hashtags. And then we're off to the races and you start scrolling and then you see some stuff in there because, I don't know how Instagram works, but some sort of ways the bangers are always to the top. And by bangers, I mean, if you're looking at portraits, you're talking all the models who's got the plastic face, super sharp eyes, super blurry backgrounds. It's all there. And you're just like, oh my God, like, how many hours did this person spend editing this photo, right? And then you start feeling like, shit, did I make a mistake by choosing to do portraits in a more natural way, right? Or you look at landscapes and you go, what the fuck? Why is the sky like green? Am I a fool for going after a natural blue sky? I must be, because this person's got 23,000 likes and some crazy amount of comments, right? And then it starts to really mess with you, and then you're lost. And then you're really and truly lost. Everything you thought about how you wanted your work to look, the end game for your work and how you wanted it to be perceived, all goes out the window because you see something over here to the left and that's got quadruple the amount of engagement, if not more, than you do, and it's a complete opposite. What do? Really, what do you do? I think it's important to remember you are, and you always should be, your own measuring stick. No two artists are alike. No two cameras, a camera setup is alike. No two models are alike. There's so many different variables that goes into what we do. No two light setups are the same. Sunsets are the same. It doesn't matter. This world is so unique in every point in time. And we have to remember that in everything that we do. And the reason I'm saying that is, you can never measure up to anyone to your left or your right. It's hard enough to measure up to you in the past or you in the future, because the past you've already done. You couldn't have done it any different. Just what you did is what you did. The future, you've no idea what you're going to do. And the present is pretty much all you can affect. And I think understanding that the true measuring stick is really and truly only yourself will give you a level of being grounded that won't be easily swayed every time you get on Instagram looking for inspiration, right? Or you read a photo book or whatever, wherever you go for inspiration, because I do believe that as artists and photographers, inspiration is a very powerful tool. right? But inspiration can sometimes lead to copying, and it can sometimes lead to this unhealthy competition, or you look at things and you go, I can do that better, I have to do it better, or let me show you I'm doing it better. Like there's all these distasteful things that happen when you start to look for inspiration and then compete and blah blah blah. But if you understand that the measuring stick here is really and truly just yourself, look at your past work. If you're shooting a model and this is your second or third time shooting her, look back at the previous photo sessions and look and see, okay, I can see where I improved here. I understand how light better shapes this, this model's jawline, or I understand how better to control the objects in the background to sort of minimize distraction. Or you can look at your landscape stuff. Ooh, I understand how 20 feet to the left or the right completely changed the perspective for the better in this image. Or you look at street stuff. I understand how I've got images from this same corner 2 years ago, but I understand how my patience in waiting for the scene to develop around me served me much better in my more recent work. And once you identify these trends on how you did things better, or how you did things worse back then, or vice versa, you start to see it, you can then, for the third time around, fourth time around, next time around, you can keep these things in mind and jot them down as your to-do list for these projects in the future. And I think that's super important. And it removes all the noise around you. It removes all the competition around you, having to look like this person or edit like that person. It doesn't matter. Look at your prior work, look at your past work, and there you will find your direction on really and truly how to improve. If I had to choose one specific thing in this conversation that I really want to emphasize, it's really about the camera gear, right? And so many people, when they first get into photography, I have this conversation with them and I say, okay, what do you want to do? And I want to do portrait stuff. Oh, okay, that's cool, that's dope. Portraiture is a really nice part of it's a really humane part of photography, right? Because you're always interacting with people, you're always that eye contact, and you're storytelling, and you're, as the viewer, you're looking at a really nicely done portrait and you're wondering, what is this person's story, or what is the artistic vision here? Like it's super dope, right? And then I hear I want that right there. I'd see pictures and it was like, no, you can't have that right there. Because what is that right there? Some people, all they see is super vibrant colors and super depth of field and blurry backgrounds and crazy amounts of separation. Sometimes they don't even understand. It may not even be, there's no camera that can give you that amount of separation. There's no lens that can do that. These people are just going crazy in Photoshop, right? And that's okay. But it's a road that you're never gonna stop driving down. There's no destination in mind, because you don't know what camera they use, you don't know what lens they use, you don't know what lighting they use, you don't know what editing program to use, you don't know how they chose to edit in that program. Like there's always gonna be these variables, these mysteries. You quite possibly can't compete with that, and you should not. In fact, what you should be doing is come back, reel it back, and understand the purpose of the genre you choose to call your own in photography. Portraiture. What's the point here? It's storytelling or it's creative vision, right? You got your artistic portrait, you've got your crazy high-end, what would you even call that? Like, I guess artsy portraiture, where people put flowers on their heads and they block the face with all that crazy stuff, and it's dope. I've seen some dope stuff. Or you've got your high fashion looks, or you've got your super grungy looks, or you've got just super down to earth, no real editing, just straight up daylight, no artificial light, raw portraits. That's all about storytelling. Whatever it is you need to remember that and execute on that level. There's no variation from that, because it's always going to be the purpose to get to your end goal. It's never going to be someone else's end goal and try to reverse engineer how they got there. I don't think that's the way to go about it. I can sit in front of you today and talk a good game. It may sound as if I'm impervious to these things, but I am not. I too get on Instagram and I'll search for things and I'll look for ideas, and then I'm just like, ooh, I like this idea, but I could have done that better. And then I immediately get like this yicky feeling like, oh, I should not have said that. I should not have said that. No, I can't do that better. I can do it my way, which may or may not have a more pleasing result for me, but I can't do it better. I need to respect that person's art. I need to not downplay that person's end result. And I oftentimes struggle with this. And I'm wondering, am I really the only one who struggles with this? I would like you guys to hit the comment section down below. Let me know if this need to compete is something that you have also encountered, and has it also taken you down a dark path? And hopefully, much like I'm here to talk to you today, I found a way to reel it back, and I hope you did too. And I would love to hear those stories. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you didn't like it, that's okay as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more content coming. You can reach out to me in my various social media outlets. My Instagram's below, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff's there. Drop me a message, say hello. A lot of you have been reaching out on Instagram. I quite enjoy those little DMs I've been getting. Thank you so much for that. Before I leave you, I want to double back and talk about inspiration, because inspiration, I think, is such and I may do another video on inspiration at some point in time, but it's such a minefield, because inspiration can be a veil for just straight up copying. Inspiration can be a veil for just really misdirection. And I think inspiration at its core is something that we all need as photographers, because let's face it, no matter how dope we think we are very much not original. A lot of these things that we're doing have been around for years. Ideas have been thought of before, have been executed. You just haven't seen it. So I think inspiration is very much needed, but I think inspiration can lead you down a path where you just become a blatant copycat. And there has to be a balance, right? You see something you like, you think it's dope, and you inspire to see if you can get that result. I think that's all well and good. There definitely has to be a balance between the two. And I think once you sit back and you get your inspiration, and then you apply your why, how, when, you apply those type of that structure to your work on top of your inspiration, it'll give you a generally sound sense of direction. But I was very harsh on the word inspiration, so I wanted to clear that up. Inspiration is a very dope thing, and it's something that myself I seek on a daily basis. So let's not think that I'm bashing inspiration. My name is Ramon. Thank you for checking out the video. I'm out of here. Peace.
1